Please like and subscribe to channel if you enjoyed the video. Discovered husband had affair, so he ended his life. This was 2 years ago now, and so I had some time to gain perspective on the situation, but I have read some of your stories and want to share mine and ask for some advice. Basically, I, 30F, was sitting at home one night having just put our 9-month-old to bed and got some weird social media ads from a friend of mine. She added me to Insta, FB, etc. I was so confused because I didn't know she had unfriended me. So I texted my husband, 35M, that she was being a weirdo. I had zero thoughts of them having an affair together. She was/is married, and I thought my husband was faithful. 20 minutes later, my husband walks in the door telling me we need to talk. I still didn't put 2 and 2 together and thought he got fired from work or something. He looked so despondent. That's when he told me about the affair. It hurt so bad to be backstabbed by a friend and my husband at the same time. He was apologetic but was also flipping it around on me not being happy enough, etc. I had just had a baby and went through a cancer scare at the same time. How was I supposed to always be happy? I shouldn't have, but I texted her too, and she flipped it on me as well, telling me I should have had better control over my husband. Double, I'm not here to control anyone, and I trusted him and her. Anyways, it gets worse. Apparently, he had confessed to her that this wasn't the first time he had cheated on me. He had up with randoms at work too. She threatened him that she would tell me if he didn't tell me right away. She cited morality, Elmau. As of now, she felt the need to be moral. Anyways, he told me. I reacted poorly and told him I couldn't tolerate that and we needed to divorce. I had been trying to accept his affair with my friend, not smart, but I desperately wanted things to work between us. But hearing it was a chronic thing for him changed the game entirely. So I told him I was out. That was when he took off and ended his life. It took hours for police to find him, and the whole time I was hoping he took off to blow off steam, but his tone when he left scared me. So I called 911 and police were at my house for about 6 hours until the official notification came. I guess my question in all this is, how do I live with no answers or closure? How do I live knowing that my friend just blocked me on everything and continues to live her normal married life when my family blew up and my son has no dad anymore? How do I ever trust someone intimately again? I am in therapy and it helps, mostly alleviating my guilt at not saving him from himself. But holy hell, this is a lot to live with. It all feels very unfair that I had no hand in any of this and my poor little dude, still ended up being the ones totally screwed over. Story 2. Found my husband and little sister in bed together. My 22F husband, 22M, and I had what I thought to be the most amazing, healthy, and happy marriage. We have been together a little over 2 years, but have known each other 7. We met in high school, but never dated. I have a young son. His bio dad is what you would call a deadbeat. My husband stepped up and has been his father since he was 4 months old. My son and family absolutely adore my husband. He reminds everyone of my father who passed 4 years ago, suddenly of a heart attack. On our living room floor. My family and husband became extremely close, super fast. My husband and I started trying for a baby a couple months after we started dating. But sadly didn't end up conceiving our son until 15 months after we started trying. Dealing with infertility was extremely bad for me. I spent a lot of time crying into my husband's chest after about the 7th negative pregnancy test in a row. We were elated when we found out I was pregnant with our 2nd son last November. Global situation happened and put a bit of a damper on my pregnancy. So I had my younger sister, 18F, over to our apartment A lot to keep me company while my husband worked long hours due to global situation. My siblings and I, there are 4 of us, are all extremely close, but my little sister and I are by far the closest out of all our siblings. I basically raised her after my mom abandoned us to go and live with her boyfriend 2 months after our father died. Would do anything for her at the drop of a hat and would defend her and be on her side no matter what. One weekend in April, my husband decided to unwind and have a drink for the first time in almost a year. He is pretty straight edge. My little sister was over, so I went out and bought some wine for her to drink so they could have fun a drink together, since I was pregnant and obviously couldn't drink with him. while we all played games and watched movies. It started getting late and I was tired, so I went to bed. I woke up around 1 a.m. and didn't see my husband in bed next to me, so I got up to go see if he was maybe playing video games still. I didn't bother putting my glasses on. When I got out to the living room, I saw with my extremely blurred vision him standing bent over her while she was laying on the couch. They were both clothed, but I made me feel extremely uneasy and sick to my stomach. I asked what they were doing and my husband said he was talking to her. I backed to the bathroom and started crying, but just thought was being ridiculous and hormonal, and tried pushing it to the back of my head. Only I couldn't. The memory consumed my every thought and was driving me insane. But I didn't have proof that anything had happened, and I didn't actually see them doing anything, so again, I just told myself that I was being crazy and that they would never do something like that to me, especially not while heavily pregnant. My husband started to become increasingly distant and just plain nasty to me, seemingly always finding something to fight with me about, not showing me any attention or affection or sex, which was extremely out of character and unlike him. I brushed it off as him being stressed about the new baby. My husband and I bought our first home in May, and I wanted all of our rooms painted before we moved in. My husband agreed, and my sister offered to help him. Fast forward to July, after 3 months of feeling like something just wasn't, and that my marriage was failing. I woke up one Monday morning 9 months pregnant to an empty bed, my husband nowhere in sight. My little sister had spent the night. I put in my contacts and then went into the living room to see if he was up playing with the new kitten we had gotten the night before. No sign of him. My stomach dropped. The door to my unborn child's nursery was open, where my little sister, was sleeping. My heart sank. My feet felt like cement blocks, but I slowly started walking towards the room, only to see my husband on his knees giving oral to my baby sister in our unborn son's nursery. The first words out of my mouth was, "I knew it, get out of my house." I'll never forget the look on their faces. I was so heartbroken and traumatized. I ran to our master bathroom and just stood there in shock. My husband eventually came in and tried to talk to me. I threw everything within reach at him and told him to get out and leave me alone. He didn't, so I pushed past him. The rest is a blur, and I don't remember much of it, except hiding his keys so he could drive her back to my mom's house. He ended up doing so anyways. I am still so hurt and devastated, but can't bring myself to leave him, even though I am disgusted, beyond hurt and devastated by this. I have only spoke to my sister a few times, trying to get answers as to how she could actually do something like that to me of all people. Neither of them have an answer, and they had sex almost every time she was over and I went to sleep. I have no want or need for a relationship with my sister. I truly feel she owes me more loyalty than anyone is this planet. How do I heal from this ultimate betrayal from the two people I'm closest to? Also, I might add that my little sister has an extensive history with sleeping with grown men, but I never thought she'd cross the line and sleep with my husband. I am by no means taking the heat off of him by saying this either. Currently, a man, 27, is serving prison time for getting caught having sex with her in the back of his car when she was 15. Also, the dude had the same name as our older brother. She's just got serious issues. A couple years back, I found out she'd been using my while I was at work, obviously grossed me out, and I threw them away. She's deranged and has boundary issues. But again, I genuinely never thought she'd do anything to try and ruin my marriage or relationship with me. She also holds an extremely special place in my son's heart. I don't get why she'd chance ruining it. I'm so confused, honestly.